Hi guys, Jason Nelson here from Body Image Fitness, and today the topic is balance. All right, why balance? It has been a hot topic all week, and at every session, most of my clients, there's some exercise, something, whether it's in the dynamic warm up, it's in the strength, it's in the core work that challenges your balance because it's very important. Why? In the athletic population, it reduces the risk of injury, especially ankle sprains, ACL tears. In the senior population, it's big in fall prevention because you don't want to fall and break your hip. It's bad news. All right. So what we are going to do today, I'm going to switch around the camera angles for a little bit, and we are going to start looking at the foot. Now, the foot is the first part of the kinetic chain we want to examine. All right, so we're going to look at the foot and the ankle, then we're going to look at the knee, and then we're going to look at the hip. Now, based on my experience, more than likely there's an issue at the hip that we could just fix with a couple of strategies. We're going to try out a couple of different things. But first, let's switch the angle, look at the foot. Let's get to it. All right, guys, you are looking at my right foot. So what we are looking for is flattening of the feet. I'm going to turn my foot slightly this way so you can see better. Now I have on a black sock. I'm going to try and punch in as much as I can so you can see it. If the foot flattens, which means the arch collapses, that's going to cause pronation. And pronation in the ankle, right, is going to affect the way the knee reacts. So the ankle pronates and the knee goes inward. This is going in, and that's called valgus. And what has to happen at the hip has to hike this way. So this is what happens when that foot pronates. Pronation, valgus, hip hike. All right, you don't want the hip hiking up. This is the high side of the hip. This is the low side of the hip. And this is what causes that, causes you to feel unbalanced in that single leg position. So if we examine the foot again, I'm going to punch in again a little more. Awesome. If the foot is pronating too much and the arch is collapsing, what we can do now, I have a grass floor. If you have a wooden floor at home, you put a towel on the floor and you step on that towel, step on the end of the towel, so more of the towel is further away from you. Using your big toe, we are going to pull that towel in. So this movement here, curling that toe in, even without an actual towel, it's really firing up the arch in my foot. Now, is it going to stop your feet from flattening? A little bit, but it's going to strengthen the mid-arch so you don't have that collapse when you step, which, again, moves the ankle in a disadvantageous position. And that position is susceptible for ankle sprains, especially going laterally. That's out to the side. All right, so we want to make sure that we strengthen up the arch of the foot. I'm going to turn my foot again this way. This is the movement. Curl the toe in and fire that arch. All right, awesome. Now that we worked on strengthening up the foot, we are going to start building from the ground up. So if first we get us out to the way, easy balance work today. I'm going to turn my back to you a little bit, but I'm going to explain what I'm going to do. Foot off the floor, just hovering. You're going to feel your ankles firing up. That's okay. Make sure to keep your hip nice and square. Core engaged, chest tall. And we are going to go for some alternate touches to the wall. So I turn my back, and I'm going to touch the wall with my left hand, my right hand, keeping that foot off the floor. As we get better, we could switch, creating a transverse action, which creates a little bit of torque at the hip and causes the posterior and the oblique fibers of the glutes to fire a little more. All right? Progression. Okay? Knees up, or we step further away from the object we're trying to touch and tip forward at the hip. So for instance, if this was the wall, I'm here stepping further back and I have to lean to touch. Now we moving over our base of support. So now we're becoming a little more unbalanced. All right? This is what is called controlled instability. So, you get in here and you stand up on something that's a little like the Bosu or the Airex or the disc pillows, all the different devices that we have to challenge your balance. It's all controlled, and there's a progression that's take you from point A to point B. All right, I don't want to get too ahead right now. I want to keep this short without the fluff. So in exercise number 1, foot off the floor, touch the wall straight ahead, you could use a transverse action. Now remember, balance is multi-planar. So you're going to have to get balance in the sagittal plane, that's front and back, in the frontal plane, which is side to side, and in the transverse plane. But for now, we are going to work sagittal, and we're going to touch on the frontal a little bit. As you get better, we're going to incorporate the transverse. Now the frontal plane balance is what is called a balance excursion. Stand here, foot pointing straight ahead, knee tracking over the toe, hips back, chest tall. Just stick one leg out to the side. Now don't pick the leg up in the air, because that's putting the hip into abduction. Keep the foot the same distance away from the floor. So what you'll have to do to accomplish that is bend at the knee and at the hip. Bend at the knee and at the hip. Bending at the knee and at the hip. That's in the frontal plane. So repeat that left and right. So we have the wall touches, we have the single leg balance excursions in the frontal plane. Very, 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 very simple. I know you're not seeing me, I'm cutting in and out of the video. But just focus on the more important parts. Alright? We're gonna shoot the next progression. Give me a minute. First strategy, and probably the only strategy you are going to need to fix your hip hike. Now we spoke about weakness of the glute medius. If you don't know what the glute medius feels like, we could use an activation technique where you lie on your side. I hope you get me in the camera, and we do some of these. Some clamshells. What that does, it fires up the glute medius and makes the brain connect with the muscle in isolation before we put the move into integration. So if the brain doesn't connect in isolation, no way it's going to connect in integration. So before you start, you could do a couple sets of these, probably about 3 sets of 10 each side, and just get your hand on the side of the glute a little bit and make sure that glute is fired. If you want to put a weight here or something, if it's not working the way it should work, but just get your hand and palpate the muscle and make that connection. I can feel mine firing up already. So, we are going to use a chair. Now I'm using a specialized bench. You could use a chair at home. Don't use anything that's too low. Get a chair that you could sit on comfortably. Make sure that your butt, that height of that chair, is over your knees. As you get better, you could progress and get a little deeper. So, in a single leg position. Now, this is a progression to the exercises that I showed you before. So this is an integrated version. Now that we have that single leg balancing kind of worked out, we are going to start incorporating this. We are going to go for a single leg get up. And we're going to sit all the way back down. Pressing on the heel, keeping the chest tall, and firing up the core. Up and back down. Paying attention to not let that happen, because that's glute medius allowing the hip to go into adduction. We want to straighten out the hip and sit back. Up. Keeping a nice straight line, straight belt line. That's why I tuck my shirt in, so you can see the belt line nice and straight. As we get better, we could lower this bench, putting more challenge on the glute max, and still keeping the hips square, which is going to keep the glute medius all fired up. Alright? Now we are going to look at integrating your balance into your strength training. Check this out. Alright guys, so I'm just going to show you 1 or 2 strategies that you can do in your strength training. I'm going to just use a band row, rubber band row. We could do this with cables, we could do it with the TRX, a little bit with the TRX. Have some dumbbells. I'm going to show you 1 or 2 exercises that's really simple that you can incorporate right away. Some regressions, some progressions that you could use, and you can start improving your balance today, okay? Check this out. So I might just disappear a little bit. So I'm gonna back up a little bit. So you just get the most important part. I attach my my band to a bike. So we're gonna simulate a row for the back. So this is a regular row where both feet is on the floor, chest is forward, hips are back. If I wanna start incorporating my balance training, I could hover my foot right off the floor. So now I'm actually pulling, but I'm maintaining that balance as well. That foot is really, really firing, and you could feel the knee being a little shaky and the glute medius firing up to keep the knee stable. All right, that's one. The next thing you could do is a simple bicep curl. You work on your biceps, just pick one foot off the floor and hover it. Your progression, foot a little higher. Full progression, hip flex at 90 degrees, always remembering to keep the hip nice and square. So I'm gonna turn to the side, all right? This is hover, a little higher, and full 90 degrees. We could curl, we could press, we could go overhead for the triceps, all the time, remembering core stays tight all the way through, all right? Now, stuff that you can incorporate at home to get going immediately. Even when you're brushing your teeth in the morning, foot is up, switch sides, foot is up, all right? Touch your toe if you need to, hover if you need to, pick the knee up. Now, I wouldn't suggest doing a single leg balance work if you have like a long knife or something. That's not the best thing to do. But remember, balance is the first thing, the first movement, besides all the automatic functions like your heart rate, your lungs, that your body wants to produce. Because if you're not balancing, then you're horizontal, you're falling. So whenever you're incorporating your balance into your strength, remember, the body's gonna prioritize balance versus prime mover strength. So for instance, if you're able to pull 70, 80 pounds with both feet on the floor, once you get into that single leg position, the body is gonna reduce prime mover strength and prioritize balance. So remember, if your goal is to get stronger, you could do your heavy work on another day, or use your balance incorporated with your strength as a warm-up, as some early sets. Put your balance training first in your workout, because when you're tired, the body gives up balance. You gotta put both feet on the floor at the end. All right? So I hope that was informative. Any questions, you could scroll down. You could like this video on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. You can email me and let me know what you think. If you need help designing something that's customized, let me know. Talk to you later. Bye.